Hi guys, welcome back to our channel, the number one place for people who love art, design and all things creative. I'm Jacqueline and I'm an interior architect and designer here at D&B. In today's video I wanted to show you my top celebrity home interiors. That being said, let's jump into the video. Our homes are the places where we tend to spend the most time and arguably the most important, especially in 2020. But I'm biased because I'm an interior designer. So let's take a look inside some celebrity homes. So my first pick for top celebrity home interior is none other than Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith's CALABASAS home, which is worth a crazy $42 million. It was designed by Steven Samuelson from Plan A Architecture, which is a practice based in New Mexico. And it's clear that Will wanted a real rustic, earthy feel for the house, much like those found in the state of New Mexico. And I really like this one because it's really unique and not what you picture as a typical modern celebrity home. The house has a certain fluidity to it in the sense that each room connects and flows into one another. The architecture you can see from above is very organic and lots of atypical shapes have been used. The interiors are almost definitely a combination of Moroccan, Persian, Spanish, Southwestern styles that take inspiration from those classic clay buildings. All the colours inside the house are very similar to Indian and Moroccan colour palettes, lots of oranges, reds and yellows. I can also see that there's lots of handcrafted furniture and detailing in almost all of the rooms, and the front door, for example, has actually been restored from a fort in northern India. Obviously, all of the rooms are gorgeous, but I think that the master bedroom and bathroom feel very luxurious whilst also keeping that rustic feel throughout. I think that sometimes celebrities love that sterile look, but the Smiths have kept their home looking very warm and inviting, and I think that it's been designed in a way to make sure that all rooms allow for socialising in large groups, which makes complete sense considering that they have a large family and lots of friends. The house has 9 bedrooms, a home cinema, music studio, basketball court, a meditation room, and pool. The complex itself is so big that it actually has its own postcode. One of the reasons why I love this celebrity home interior is that it truly is unique and unlike others in Hollywood. The architecture is unusual, but also authentic. Both Will and Jada wanted the house to be original, and they've actually collected their own artifacts from their travels across the world, so I think that's really cool. Next up on my list is John Legend and Chrissy Teigens' Beverly Hills home, which is worth $23 million. Now, I think that they aren't actually currently living in the house. They moved early in the year because the house is actually up for sale. It's fair to say that this house is the opposite of the Smiths in the sense that it is your typical contemporary celebrity home, but there are actually lots of unique details that I wanted to share with you. The space was designed by Los Angeles designer Don Stewart from Desiderata Designs, who's also designed the couple's previous LA home and also their New York apartment. I think the first thing that captures your eye is the diagonal roofing on the exterior of the building, which I assume is for skylights in order to let in sun and brighten up the spaces, and of course the tall floor-to-ceiling windows, which I think really opens up the living space. And I have to admit that the building itself is not anything spectacular or intriguing, but what I love about it is that there's actually lots of decor inside that pays homage to Chrissy's Thai heritage, and it does feel like they've injected their own character and personality into the home. I think that's one of the most important things that separates interior design from an actual home. Personally, I think that our home should be a reflection of ourselves, and a good interior designer will incorporate your personality, interests and heritage. I assume that these gorgeous chairs are from Thailand, and the ceiling is actually covered with carved wooden mandalas, and other oriental pieces can be seen throughout the house. The rooms are certainly modern, but I wouldn't say that they're devoid of life. I think that the gold brass accents add warmth, and the use of wood and neutral tones also helps with that. The house is made up of 7 bedrooms, 8 bathrooms, a pool, outside deck area, playroom, music space, cinema room and much more. And of course, with Chrissy now being a cookbook author and avid cook, you just know that the kitchen had to be huge. It includes 3 ovens, 2 stovetops, twin refrigerators and miles of Italian quartz countertops. But being a family of 4, there is of course a mini kitchen for the kids too. And I included this because so often you don't see the playful or child-friendly aspects to a design, whereas John and Chrissy have no problem showcasing their kids' play kitchen and playroom. I specifically love the clean lined closet space and glam room. It's very minimal whilst also keeping that warm feel within it. I mean, who else wants a glam room? It's goals. Next on my list is Tyler Fergusons' $4.5 million Los Feliz property. The modern family star's house was actually previously owned by Gwen Stefani, and she had to bend around planning applications to get the pool put in. The house itself follows that classic Spanish revival architectural style and has lots of indoor and outdoor living areas. The house consists of 4 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms, a dining room, media room, library, pool, outdoor deck area and a viewing deck. The reason I picked this house is because it's actually my favourite out of any celebrity home. I love the Spanish style and I feel that they really have injected their own funny personalities into the space. For example, with this metal horse that's made out of bike parts, really random, and this wallpaper with drunk monkeys on it. It's hilarious and I think that it shows their famous sense of humour. There's lots of comedic elements within the interior, but also a sense of drama which I like. The house is very dark and I almost want to say it reminds me of a gentleman's club where I can imagine men drinking whiskey by a fire. And they said that that's one of the most important things that they wanted to change within the house, because once they bought it, the property had stark white walls, so they wanted to mix it up a bit. And I think that it definitely works. The ceiling is also so high that they can get away with having these dark colours in all the rooms. I love the entrance hall with the cathedral ceiling, iron staircase and carved wooden door. And although the interior is dark, quirky and gothic, I feel that they also didn't forget the Spanish nature of the house and they did add Spanish elements to the interior too. The viewing deck at the top of the garden has some spectacular views of the Griffith Observatory and seems like an ideal place to entertain your guests, even if it is a steep climb up. I'm not sure if I'd want to walk down those steps after I've had a few wines. And my final pick is this London apartment previously owned by Rihanna and Tom Cruise. Of course, I had to mention a London-based home, but when I was actually looking into it, there's not many properties that celebrities have shared, so sorry about that. But this London penthouse flat is worth £35 million, which is the equivalent to $52 million. And it overlooks Hyde Park, which is a really nice place and a great location for a property. This is actually by far the smallest property, and yet it is the most expensive out of the bunch. And if you know what London house prices are like, then that will not surprise you in the slightest. The most noticeable feature is obviously the mirrored ceiling, which I feel was put there to make the space seem a lot higher than it is in reality. You know, an illusion for the eyes. The penthouse includes a home gym, kitchen, music room, study, terrace, a 360 balcony, 2 spa treatment rooms and 6 bedrooms. The apartment was designed by Paul Davies and I think he's created a very luxurious modern space. Although I feel like the balcony almost has a Parisian vibe to it. What do you guys think? Usually apartments of this size would span across 2 or 3 floors, but this one is actually just lateral on 1 level. And you can tell by looking at the interior that the finest fixtures and furniture has been used to create this sophisticated London property. This is in fact a rental property, hence both Rihanna and Tom Cruise and other A-listers have stayed here. And personally I do think that's seen in the design. To me, whilst the black and white scheme is certainly elegant and luxe, it's also very one-dimensional and doesn't possess any character or sense of personality per se, which would, be the case because they're not just catering for one individual. But nonetheless, I still think that it's a very lavish and alluring celebrity home. And that was my top celebrity home interiors. Let me know what your favourite home was. And if you think that I missed out on an even better interior, comment below on which celebrity's home you think is the best. If you're new, then welcome. This channel is all about interior design, architecture, illustration, content creation and graphics. So if any of that interests you, make sure to subscribe to see videos just like this one. And if you like this video, then please give it a big thumbs up, because by doing that you really do support our channel. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.